皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. It's me Shogo and my cameraman today is Tomoko.
Hi.
Alright, so today everyone we're going to be taking you here to Kimono and tea ceremony, Maikoya, where you get to experience kimono dressing and tea ceremony in this authentic kyomachiya. In this channel, we'll be introducing hidden gems in Kyoto. So if you're a Kyoto lover planning to come to Kyoto someday, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. それでは中入っていきましょうか。
Let's go.
Kimono Tea Ceremony Kyoto Maikoya is a Kyoto-style machiya with 4 tea rooms and Japanese gardens that is especially preserved by Kyoto City. It is located in the heart of Kyoto, and the famous sites such as Nishiki Market, Kyoto Imperial Palace, Nijo Castle, and Yasaka Shrine are nearby. In addition to tea ceremony, you can experience almost all of Japan's representative cultural activities, such as kimono dressing, calligraphy, and Maiko shows, which are all available in English and Chinese. Adam-san, a tour guide who has lived in Japan for 15 years, including 4 years in Kyoto, will guide us through the kyomachiya.
Alright, so we have Adam-san today
Hi,
as
hi.
our tour guide for the Machiya. よろしくお願いします. Thank you so much today. Yes.
Thank you. So you see these kind of wooden work, and the reason for this is in the past, obviously, they did not have different kind of technologies to hide what's happening inside.
Okay.
So if you're walking outside, you cannot see what's inside, but inside, people who are inside can see outside.
Okay, okay.
So you see this kind of woodwork very commonly in Japanese kyomachiya.
So kind of like for privacy basically then.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay. That's interesting.
The kyomachiyas in Kyoto, they're around, we expect around 3,000 from the Meiji period.
Okay.
And among these, around 100, 150 of them are specially preserved by Kyoto City. So this is one of those buildings, so you can see the Kyoto City mark over here.
Yes.
Which means even if we want to change something, even if we want to put a nail on the wall, we need to get permission from Kyoto City.
Oh, wow.
So
because it's preserved.
Exactly, exactly. People often ask why Kyoto is this way, and that the reason is Kyoto was not bombed during World War II. Reason behind that was it turns out the war minister in the U.S. He spent his honeymoon in Kyoto City.
Oh, really?
And he really liked it a lot. And it was one of the 10 cities that were to be bombed during the World War II.
Yeah.
But he says we should definitely not do it.
There's a lot of
and
history,
it was,
culture
yeah,
here.
so it was taken out of the list. And so that's why Kyoto is more preserved compared to other historic cities in Japan.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow.
And also, one thing, if you look from this way, it's quite long, and most kyomachiyas are actually front line is around 5 to 10 meters.
Yes, yes.
But in the back, it's more than 30, 40 meters. And the
Yeah.
reason for that is in the past, they used to pay tax based on how much space they occupied on the street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's why it may not look that big, but it goes all the way back. Usually the houses are very big, and in order to get enough sunlight, they have a small garden in the middle.
Because the back won't get sunlight because this is the only front part of the house.
Exactly.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. So we have the Noren here.
Yes, very beautiful.
The first floor of Machiya used to be a store or a business place.
Okay.
If you don't have anything and people are getting in and getting out, so that'd be cold. So they put something like this. And in the summertime, this creates a breeze, so it's cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's quite functional then.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Wow, I did not
so
know that.
in Kyoto, you can see this in many different kinds of
Yes,
stores.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Ne?
All right, let's get started.
All right.
Okay.
失礼します.
Wow.
Beautiful. The atmosphere changes right away when you step inside.
Because everything is natural, everything is made out of wood.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, this place is called Genkan.
Yep, yep.
This house was built as tea house. It has 4 distinctive tea rooms inside.
4 inside one
Yeah.
building? Wow.
Yeah, so I'll explain them to you later.
Yeah, definitely.
So Machiyas were used as business place.
Yes,
So
yes.
the owner used to live upstairs or in the back. That's why you can see some places were left as actually shop window. The passerbys can see and enter. Okay, so this is the main entrance, and usually the guests take off their shoes over here.
Okay, right here.
Because this is still considered to be outside of the building. But maybe we start with the garden first.
Okay, okay, so we go this
All
way?
right,
Okay.
yes.
So we take off our shoes here
Yes.
then, I believe? Okay.
This is the room where our guests enter the building.
Okay.
Shall we get started with the garden?
Wow, right away to the garden.
Yeah.
Wow, so beautiful.
all.
Thank you so much. I can put these on then?
Sure.
Wow, okay.
This is Roji tea garden. Before the guests do the tea ceremony, they usually pass through the tea garden.
Oh.
And the idea is while passing by the garden, you have to leave your materialistic thoughts and you have to purify your mind. So that's the whole idea.
Okay, okay.
So that's the separation between the materialistic secular world and spiritual world. While passing through the greens and the moss and the garden,
Yes.
you forget all the worldly thoughts. And if you look at the garden, so you may see, we have another garden I'll explain later, but
Yes.
you will see that the stones, they do not follow rectangular shapes or certain simplistic pattern because in the Roji, so everything has to be natural.
Okay.
That's one of the main differences between Japanese garden and Western gardens.
Understand, yes.
So this is Tsukubai,
Yes.
the water basin.
Uh-huh.
The guests, they purify themselves before joining the tea ceremony.
Yes, yes, yes.
In the tea garden, you see different kinds of plants and trees. So the whole idea is we realize the seasonal changes. So it's the Zen idea of the transience of life. So we have to observe those seasonal changes, and the garden is a very important element of this.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
It's for you to feel the seasons changing.
Exactly.
And absorb nature, be a
exactly.
part of it, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
We can walk like
Yep,
this.
this way, yep.
If you walk this way, this is a bamboo gate or bamboo door. This was actually invented by Senno Rikyu. It's called the Rikyu door.
Oh.
It's the separation of different levels of the garden. And there's actually a particular rule when you open the gate. So after you pass it, you must close the gate. You must put this round thing over here. Yeah, please.
May I?
hands up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess the gate,
Yeah.
the door is another barrier to kind of separate the world here again.
Exactly. So let's get inside. So this is one of the main rooms. So we have the tea ceremony demonstration. So we can walk inside.
Okay.
A lot of people probably know tatami mats. The history of tatami is actually only a few hundred years. It used to be used on elite samurai houses because it's labor intensive and difficult to maintain. And also the house design, the way we put tatamis is not only just vertical or horizontal.
Yeah.
There are rules. So if it's
Exactly.
4 meters by 6 meter room, you have to like 2 horizontal, 2 vertical, 1 in the middle. So there's pretty much established rules on how to put the tatamis on the
The
floor.
directions, yes.
Exactly. You cannot just randomly throw them out. Okay, tatami, just walk on tatami.
Yeah.
Also in Japanese houses, you often find the scrolls like this. So this is from the Meiji period. This house is also from the Meiji period.
Yes, you were saying.
It represents one of the interactions between Koreans and the Japanese in the 12th century.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is the alcove. And the scroll says Ichigo Ichie.
Just like in the front, noren.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly. It means one time, one chance, or every moment is unique. They never come back. So this moment will never come back. The flowers of the tea ceremony. We usually put the flowers. Obviously, they have to be seasonal.
Yep,
and
of
they're usually
course.
freshly collected in the morning. Here, they have to look like how they appear in the field, and so we usually show half bloomed or about to bloom or something like that.
Yes, yes, yes.
They should not have heavy smell, and they should not suppress the smell and odor of other natural things such as tea or
Yes, yes.
the natural smell of the room.
You don't want the flowers to bother the tea.
Exactly.
Of course,
So it's all about the balance and harmony.
Wonderful.
So we have here another
Many
tea
beautiful
garden.
gardens.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, so you see that things are not symmetrical and
simply.
different from the Western gardens because the whole idea is we have to live in harmony with the nature. We should not try to dominate the nature, or we should not try to manipulate or change the shape of nature. But the balance is also very important. So you don't, in the Japanese gardens, you don't see so much green like a jungle. So everything has to be in balance. So not too much, not too little.
Okay.
Yes. The guests do the tea ceremony over here. They can also enjoy this garden over there and that garden over there at the same time.
Oh, that's right. Two
Yeah.
gardens. Yes, you
Yeah.
can see from one room.
Yeah. You can cut over here. I can show you the Kura.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, so it's,
Wow.
it's not.
Wow, this is the...
So you see this is a separate building.
Okay.
Outside
yeah,
you can
yeah.
see. Only in Kyoto, they I mean, you probably know Kuras, and these are
Exactly,
waterproof and it's very thick.
Oh, yes.
And
that's
you would be
adorable.
surprised.
Wow, 失礼します.
So this is basically
Wow.
Kura. It's a storage house of the building, and they have a special way of this thickness is maybe like 40, 50 centimeters minimum.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the thickness of the doors and the windows are to keep the things inside the storage
Exactly.
house
So this
safe,
is in the
right?
past. There's a lot of fires. So these kind of buildings were built to protect those that can get burnt during the fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, there's even a second floor? Seriously, this house is 10 times bigger than what you can imagine from outside. And there's another room here upstairs too.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, so we have 4 tea ceremony rooms.
Yeah, that's right.
This room also serves as the summer tea ceremony room,
Okay.
but also serves as also a museum.
Okay.
We have the different displays that have unique background and history.
Yes.
For instance,
here?
these sash were worn by actual Kyoto Maikos, and this is the Kamon crest,
That's
the house that
Agehacho.
they belong to.
Yeah, Agehacho. Yes.
Yeah, so in the past, they used to enter in a Maika house at the early age of
For
7,
training.
8, and sometimes they used to get lost. So people would look at the crest and say, "Oh, it belongs to this house," and bring back to the house. And this for the same reason, Maiko's sandals, and when they were walking, it actually makes this sound.
Ah.
So some people say this is the sound of Kyoto streets, that you see Maikos who are training walking on the street and making this sound that they're coming on the way. And
Those are
also,
huge.
do you know what this may be?
I know what it is. It's their pillow, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So since their hairstyle
Yeah,
takes
unique,
4 or
yes,
5
good one.
hours to prepare,
Yes, yes.
and they can only do it once a week, so they usually sleep on this.
So they don't damage their hairstyle.
Exactly. And also this was, you can see the difference between the Maiko in training's kimono and this is a Geisha's kimono.
Okay, okay.
So when they complete their training, the long parts are taken away. So it becomes like the short sleeves.
Oh, okay.
And it's more colorful, kind of more vivid. It shows the young age of a female kimono.
What are the sleeves for? What is this for to extend it, basically?
Maiko means dancing girl.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they're dancing, it looks more stylish and more beautiful
with the
long
sleeves.
sleeves. So, in this room, we also show the guests. Downstairs, we had a winter tea ceremony room.
That's right.
This room, we show the summer tea ceremony room.
Okay, yeah, the set is a little bit different.
Exactly. This is Furosaki Byobu, or the screens. They changed in the summertime. You can see so little straws over here.
They look a little bit cooler. Yes.
Yeah. So you see that like the bowl. Can you guess why it's shallow in the summertime?
Because the tea cools down faster?
Exactly, yes. So this tends to be a little bit smaller, and so from outside, most of the time guests may not notice, but most these are actually different between winter and summer.
Yeah, they look alike, but they're actually different.
Yeah, and we also show our guests special things. For instance, this is actually from the 17th century. This is the kintsugi bowl. Kintsugi means the golden repairing. In Japanese culture, the scars and damages that we have are not seen as a negative thing. It's seen as a history, part of our nature, and something to be cherished. So while being embarrassed by them, we actually cover them by gold in a specific artistic way. And it's reflected by wabi-sabi. So later you will find out more about wabi-sabi, which is a special way of bowl design. It's all about imperfection, incompleteness, and transience. And there you go. So this is another tea room. Do you notice any difference in this room in terms of design compared to other tea rooms?
Well, first of all, the pot is inside the floor.
Exactly, yes. This is the winter tea ceremony room. In the winter time, we have this kind of setup, and the guests usually tend to sit closer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this room is actually, it may be the smallest, but the most precious tea ceremony room in this house. So for instance, this tokobashira, so it's made out of sakura tree. The roof or the upper part is built in a special way, similar to the tea rooms built by Rikyu. So we also have a scroll here that tells us the 4 principles of tea ceremony, which is Waikei Seijaku. Which means like harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility and peace. So we also have the mizuya here. In the past, when you have the tea ceremony, so they used to wash the utensils in a separate room, and it's a very important part of tea ceremony training. So I know you're going through the tea ceremony training, so you probably know a lot about mizuya. So we also have this here.
Autumn, thank you very much for a tour today. That was really awesome.
You're welcome. It was our pleasure.
Thank you
and
so much,
I
Adam.
hope you enjoyed it, and we would be more than happy to welcome you again.
Thank you so much, Adam. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much.
Arigatou.
So the tour of the Maikoya Kyoto Machiya just finished. It was really awesome, yes. It was great that we were able to take a really close look at all the details of the house, the garden and such, and especially being explained by what each item and things mean. There are a lot of places in Kyoto where you can see the Machiya and such, but if you don't have enough knowledge to understand it fully, it's sometimes really difficult to enjoy it. Yes. But if you come here, you'll be taking a tour around the house and such. You'll be able to understand more about these houses. So I'm very sure you'll be able to enjoy the Machiya more. I'm very confident about that, yes. How was it for you, Tomoko?
いやめちゃめちゃ良かったね。京都によく遊びに来てても町屋の中ってあんまり入ることなくって、それを細かく説明してくれたのがすごい良かった。
I think most places you can take a look at the garden from a faraway place, but not that close actually walking inside the garden and such. So I think that was a really awesome experience too. All right. So then everyone, if you're interested in coming to Maikoya Kyoto, we have the link inside the description box. I hope you can take a look at that. And our goal is to achieve 1 million subscribers by January 2023, so your help would mean a lot. And usually our Kyoto Hidden Gems series would end here, but actually we are going to be doing the kimono and tea ceremony experience after this, so there's going to be a part 2. So this video will end here, but I hope you can look forward to part 2 as well. Then we'll see you in our next Kyoto Hidden Gems and the part 2 of this video. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.
バイバイ